Calvillo. Now, I know that, you know what, Eric, I just saw your comment, man. Merab parlay with Vettori. I like that too. And you're not laying minus 500 on that, so it's going to get you a better price, because I know you can't get the line that I got on my other leg of the parlay there. So not a bad call in my opinion. Everyone's going to groan about the main event here. Jessica Eye, Cynthia Calvillo. Not a fight that anybody is really overly interested in. Neither of these women is much of a draw. Honestly, I am a fan of both. Y'all know that I am a diehard UFC fan, if you will. And I enjoy them both. I think they both have some serious upside, and this is a sneaky good fight. I've been trying to tell everybody, if you do me a favor, I wrote an article about this fight, breaking it all down for odds.com. So if you haven't gotten your fill of the Clint here on the show, head over to odds.com, check out that article for me. Do me a favor, click the link. It always helps me out when people interact and read my articles. Jessica Eye is a fighter that I've kind of grown to love. I know everybody hates how cringy she was against Valentina Shevchenko, but I actually kind of like that. Her being confident, 33 years old, this is kind of her last shot at it, and she's going to have to really sell it if she's looking to get back at another title shot, because she got destroyed, like next level destroyed, when she took on Valentina Shevchenko. That's a highlight that people are going to see for years and years and years to come. So erasing the memory of that, she's going to have to do something impressive to get back there. She has a stalking, forward moving pressure style. She does keep a high guard up, real sharp boxing. She sits down on her punches. She's got some decent power. She mixes in leg and body kicks pretty well. She's got good head movement, and she's got a really strong right hand. I think that's her best weapon. When she hits the mat, she's intelligent off of her back, but all she does is stay safe. She doesn't have a whole lot of offensive capability, and she does know how to work back to her guard. So defensively, solid. Offensively, not so much. I understand that that's what she's been working on leading up to this fight, which is very, very intelligent of her considering who she's facing. But it's one of those things where how much of a gap can you really close in like 2 months of training the ground game? I don't think she's going to be where she needs to be to handle a chick like Cynthia Calvillo. She struggles with the threat of the takedown. That is really the biggest point that I can make here about Jessica Eye, is that she has a hard time with the takedown. And when you've got a fighter who can threaten that takedown, she gets a little gun shy because of it. Cynthia Calvillo on the other side of this thing, 8-1. She usually fights at 155. So very, very interesting here that she is coming up a weight to fight Jessica Eye. I think it's probably because of the circumstances we're under, maybe a lack of cardio, lack of training, or maybe just a shorter notice fight that she wasn't able to do it. I'm not sure. So that's something to keep an eye on. Questionable when people move up a weight class. However, she trains at Tiger Muay Thai, one of the best MMA gyms in the world. I love Tiger Muay Thai. They're very well-rounded, good coaching, and they teach everybody really all aspects of the game. So very, very good gym. She likes to press her opponents up against the fence. She's a grappler first, but her striking is very, very much improved. It's something she's been working on a lot lately. And you notice in her fight with Courtney Casey, she really tested out her striking. That was an opponent that I feel like she knew she had the grappling in her back pocket. She knew she could go back to that if she really needed to. And because of that, she was willing to wade into the fire and trade with Courtney Casey. So she tested out her striking, and it looked good. She won a full 15-minute decision over a game opponent using only her striking and not relying on her grappling, kind of showing her that she's where she needs to be. She's got a strong 1-2. She's another fighter that fires off of the clinch. I like to see catching their opponents off of those breaks. She also catches kicks. She can trip her opponents, threaten with takedowns off of that, and that's a weapon that Jessica really enjoys using, is the low kick and the body kick. So if she goes to that, Calvillo's going to be wise to it and be able to put her down. I think Cynthia Calvillo has a speed advantage here, and that's something that could be dangerous both on the feet and on the mat. She has beautiful double leg entries, and when she gets you on the mat, she transitions seamlessly to better positions. She can move right into half control, right into mount. She is extremely dominant in those areas, and I love seeing her do that. Recently, she's been training over at AKA, and I think that's because of the world situation that we're in, and because of that, honestly, I expect her to be even sharper on the mat. She's training with guys like Cain Velasquez, with Daniel Cormier. I know Khabib's not over there right now, but AKA is known for their grappling and their wrestling. She's going to be on point with her ground game coming out of that camp for this fight. And she's really smart about stealing rounds. She goes for those takedowns late in the rounds to make sure the judges see her on top of her opponent before that bell rings. If it's a close round, that's going to get you the nod. And that's exactly what you need to win fights. The other thing I noticed is she has Khabib style wrist control. Not to that level, obviously, but she takes care. She gets her opponent's hands out of the equation. She grabs onto the wrist. She makes sure she's got them in a dominant position, and they can't use those hands to get out of them. It's a big, big factor when talking about being on the mat. She also has big ground and pound. Far more of a TKO threat on the mat than she is on the feet. And she always threatens submissions from the top. She has good Kimuras, arm bars, chokes, transitions to the back, incredible backpack ability, and she's got a great gas tank in round 3. So this is where everything gets super interesting, is how do these two match up? I really think that the takedown, the aggressiveness, the submission game of Cynthia Calvillo is going to play games in Jessica Ai's head. I think Jessica Ai is the better striker. However, I'm not entirely sold on that fact because Calvillo has come so far along with her boxing in her last couple fights. She might be close. She might be able to hang with Jessica Ai on the feet. Jessica Ai is going to have the power advantage. She's the bigger woman. She's going to have the strength advantage. But if Cynthia Calvillo can grind on her and put her down over the course of these fights, I think she's going to be able to win this thing with grappling. I think that she'll be able to wear on Ai, and as long as being the smaller fighter doesn't gas her too much trying to take the larger fighter down, I think the 5 rounds actually plays into her hands. Because if she can spend a round or two striking and hang with someone like Ai on the feet and then put her grappling to use like every other round or at the end of every round, I think she's going to steal them. I think she's going to steal rounds. She's going to bank them early. And as long as she doesn't gas out and get clipped with something big, I think Cynthia kind of runs away with this one. Now, the odds makers have this as basically a straight pick 'em. A little bit of money, it looks like, is starting to, there's a little buyback on Calvillo, not a lot, but Jessica Ai opened up the favorite. I'm sorry, other way around. What? I'm confusing myself here. These books are doing different things. So it looks like Calvillo may have actually opened up the favorite, and money so far has come in on Jessica Ai. That's where this is a fight I'm not super confident on. So if I was going to pick a side, I would definitely go with Calvillo. I think that's the side that I like the most, but it's a coin flip for a reason. There's a bunch of questions here. We don't know why the fight is happening at 125. We don't know if the size discrepancy is going to be that big of a deal or not. This is a fight that I plan on waiting for weigh-ins. This is a fight that I want to see where the line moves. I want to see what some other people are saying. Even though I trust myself, obviously, I want to hear some other takes and maybe see where I'm missing something. And then I want to see how they face off. Because if Cynthia Calvillo is not that much smaller than Jessica Ai, I definitely think that grappling advantage is going to be what wins this fight. However, if Jessica Ai comes out here and towers over her, she's such a mean boxer with such power, up an extra 10 pounds, she could actually do some damage to Calvillo. I think Calvillo is the future star. I think Ai's on the downslide, but there's no denying that Ai might be able to come back and win this fight. Now, I'm having a hard time with the angle of stepping on fighters' throats. You know, when you've got somebody hurt, when you've got somebody down, you're thinking they're done and they get one more shot. You step on their throat. Go for the kill. They're probably done. They're probably going to get cut. But the last 3 or 4 times I've tried that angle, they end up bouncing back and winning. They pull off the upset. They screw my night up. They cost me money. And that's kind of what's happening here. I feel like I got her rebound fight, and now the UFC is tossing her to the wolves. They're trying to make Cynthia Calvillo look good. They want this star to be pushed, and that's the side that I want to be on. However, that's what happened with Hooper, and we got screwed. And I've done that with Cody Garbrandt. I thought he was on a 3-fight skid, and it was going to be a 4-fight skid, and maybe we'd forget about him. That didn't work out. Now, we don't want to let that recency bias cloud us from good spots, but I'm not sure how good of a spot this is. So, gun to my head, I'm on Cynthia Calvillo. That's the side that I was take, but I'm not going to make any official bets or plays on it. Right now, I've only got the 2. I've got a bet on Charles Jourdain at plus 195. I have my 2 times parlay